I'm gonna try an experiment here. I'm gonna try to make tea while I broadcast, so as to not interrupt the show. Ooh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to show so much leg.
Oh man, you got a you're revealed there.
Yeah, I usually only show that much leg when I'm, hitching a ride from a trucker. Back in my lot lizard days. Those days are behind me now.
Oh, the lot lizard days are behind you, you say?
Yes. I'm afraid so. I've retired. Okay. T-Bone McGillicuddy is retired. Yes, that's right. I don't know.
Did they used to call you T-Bone?
Today, folks, Schuler and I go into our highly detailed Fuck the Ass Records retrospective.
We're going to do a Fuck the Ass deep dive. Yeah.
Yes, folks, that is a real record label. And it is... all right, yes, hello, sir. How are you?
Good, Frank. It's all in the wrist. You see, you just got to keep the wrist.
Oh, is this in the spirit of the coronation?
Frank. Frank from Suffocation with the.
You're doing the Frank. I thought you were doing the Your Highness wave. In honor of the coronation of your new king. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Schuler is an Anglophile.
Did you watch the coronation?
I don't know what I'm basing that on.
I don't know either.
Sorry.
Cradle of Filth. I love Cradle. Maybe it's.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe it's the Cradle
I'm the one
of
who's
Filth
actually. I'm drinking English tea over here, and I'm accusing you of being an Anglophile.
You're drinking tea? No yerb? No yerb today?
Yerba mate is a tea, sir. You do know that. Yes. You racist. You didn't know that, you racist?
Listen, if it was supposed to be called tea, I'd call it tea, right? It's got a name, so I'm respectful, even if I don't necessarily know it. I've had it in like a bottle before, but I assumed that it was some sort of transfused, water steeped in some shit of some kind, like coffee and fucking tea and all the other things that we drink, but I don't know exactly what's in it.
Again, it's just more of the leaves that I'm intaking. Yes, I'm on that English breakfast. PG tips. If you ask what I'm on the tips, bitch.
I only know what that is because of
careful what you say.
Malcolm McDowell's Loomis.
What?
Loomis in Halloween 2.
He was drinking PG tips?
Well, he was throwing a fit about the publicity picture that they had chosen for him. He was like, "That's old Loomis. I'm new Loomis." He's like, "And I want a cup of PG tips, and I want it sizzling hot."
Not going in there until you go get me a cup of PG tips with a splash of milk, and I want it sizzling hot.
PG what?
Threw himself a proper little fit, brother.
I did not realize that. And folks, I assume that Mr. Benson here is referring to Rob Zombie's Halloween. He acts like it's just it's just Halloween 2, like everyone, everyone assumes Rob Zombie's goofy garbage is the default Halloween 2.
Those are my favorite Rob Zombie movies by a fucking mile.
I appreciate that you said your favorite Rob Zombie movies and not your favorite Halloween movies. I appreciate you saying that because yes.
Oh no, I think of it as just like sort of a different version of the story. It's not like there's not really any property that's so close to me that somebody coming in and doing something revision, applying their vision to something that I like,
it would insult you to your core.
It wouldn't fuck with me that bad. Like, I'd be curious and I'd check it out, and I might not like it, but like I'm not gonna crusade.
I hear you.
Either, right?
Well, like we were talking about the Alien movies, I can respect Alien 3 as just an interesting David Fincher movie, not necessarily a great Alien movie.
I ordered the novelization of the original screenplay. Did you know that that's a thing? Do you already have that?
No, but I just randomly I grabbed a bunch of novelizations that this company, Encyclopocalypse Publications, just randomly here. I've been buying some of these books they've been putting out. They've been putting out re-releases of novelizations of classic films, classic horror movies. Now, this is the actual novelization of Fright Night by John Skipp and Craig Spector, who were big splatterpunk authors in the 80s. They re-released that. And then they're doing other interesting things like the novelization of Reanimator, which, as we all know,
nice.
I don't think there was an original novelization of Reanimator, so I believe this might be a new, which is odd because we all know that Reanimator is an adaptation
a fucking short
of
story.
Herbert West Reanimator by H.P. Lovecraft. So this is an adaptation of an adaptation, which, by the way, I highly recommend the Lovecraft version. It's very bizarre and very creepy little chapters that you can read on the toilet very easily. This might not be familiar to some of you, but there's a film starring Klaus Kinski from the 80s called Creature, which was a low-budget kind of Roger Corman-style alien ripoff, and it had Klaus Kinski in it. It had it was a pretty decent, not bad alien ripoff. Well, that's actually the novelization of it. Its original title was Titanfall. I actually recommend that movie. That movie's everywhere on YouTube.
In the near future, in the shadow of Saturn's rings, stranded beneath the surface of the barren moon called Titan, scientists find the one thing they never expected.
Is anybody here?
Was expecting them. Creature.
We found someone's collection of life from all over the galaxy, like a child's butterfly collection. Some of these butterflies are not so friendly.
And wants to keep us here.
What's that?
It's open one of the doors.
This thing is using it for food. It's using our own man to kill each other.
Creature. It kills to live, and it lives to kill.
But it's very beloved to me. I watched the movie with my dad, and my mom came in during a very crucial scene where a naked girl was being devoured by this alien monster and started screaming at my dad.
What was Kinski doing? Was Kinski feeding her
I believe
to it?
Kinski was in the corner masturbating furiously while this was going on. I mean, in the corner of the room where me and my dad were, not in the movie. You know, he was literally in the room with us, which was odd.
I got you.
Yeah,
it
was very disturbing.
Every time a child watches one of his films, he materializes to ruin their life.
Yes, he was screaming at me and furiously masturbating. Klaus Kinski, everyone. Yes, but so yeah, that company, Encyclopocalypse, has been doing these novelizations. But what you were saying,
yeah, you brought up Alien 3. So there's it's not a novelization of the movie; it's a novelization of the original screenplay. So like the one that's got Lance Henriksen.
Which version?
The one that had Michael Biehn and Lance Henriksen in there. I wish they could use fucking technology and digitally de-age all these motherfuckers and make the Alien 3 that everybody wanted to make before the producers got their hands on it.
Yeah, remember, Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Who did Chappie and all that. He had gotten really far along on this new Alien movie. Did you see all the designs from that? It was really crazy cool looking shit. Crazy stuff, like where they apparently they had created like an alien suit, like a body of an alien that Ripley was crawling inside of, and shit. Very, very odd shit. Like almost like Cronenbergian.
Sounds kind of dope, man. And, like I'd watch that.
Oh, crazy stuff.
I'd definitely watch
that.
It
was crazy. It was going to be like way crazier than what. And the reason they got canceled was specifically because of Alien Covenant and Prometheus. Like Ridley was like, no, we're gonna go this way with it, and Blomkamp was like, damn.
Gotcha.
Now I have a question for you, and I want you to be honest. Don't lie, because I'll know.
Okay, I'm listening.
If I were to ask you right now to go to your restroom and bring me what reading material resides in your bathroom,
you're asking me
what would it be?
Yes. Right now I'm reading Tonight's World We Bury, Black Metal Red Politics.
But that sounds interesting.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's definitely it's straddling the line between popular press and academic press.
That's what I like, that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's really it's interesting. I'm about halfway through so far. Definitely some interesting and intriguing arguments, and definitely some cool stuff that he's echoing. Stuff that I've read in other places I think is interesting too.
I actually read a lot of stuff like that about horror, like just like academic breakdowns of like the works of Argento and stuff like that. What my toilet reading was, and it's pulp horror, and it's just just endless reviews of cult horror novels. It's just hundreds of reviews. And let me tell you, that is some excellent toilet reading. Instead of reading The Keep or The Wolfen, you just read a review of it on the toilet, and that's good enough. So
interesting. I've got Survival of the Dead playing right now. That's streaming for free right now on Prime.
Oh my God!
Oh, are you not a fan of Survival of the Dead?
Is that the one on the island?
Yeah, that's the one with the mull gravies and the O'Malleys.
To be fair, that one's way better than I was thinking of the found footage one. That one is
Diary of the Dead. Yeah,
that one is
yeah, Diary of the Dead.
Sorry, George. Listen, I love you. May Crom rest your glasses. Oh boy, those last few movies. Well, he went out making statements. I appreciate that. And the Island one, I do feel was better than the found footage.
The effects are absolutely horrible, man. Like he went for it with the digital stuff, but
George,
like they are.
Come on, man.
It is rough to watch.
It's so important to get Savini for those movies, to get the Savini special effects.
But I guess they didn't have the Savini budget, man.
Yeah.
Because like this shit was atrocious. But one thing that I have done is gone back and been able to appreciate Land of the Dead. I like it.
Oh, I love Land of the Dead. Yeah,
dude. When I saw it in the theaters, I was like livid, and I don't know what I was expecting, but like I remember being like, "Fuck this shit! This fucking sucks!" And I was on Facebook ranting about it. To like,
wow, I actually saw it in the theater as well, and my friend Tisha had the same reaction you did, and I loved it. I did kind of feel like it was headed for a big climax that it never got to. And then, what's interesting, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
When I saw the finale to that, I was like, that should have been the ending.
Yeah, man.
Of Land of the Dead. That's what I was expecting when they drove that truck out there. That should have been the ending. So, but that's what they didn't have the budget for.
That Dawn of the Dead reboot I thought was fucking excellent. I still love that movie.
It's all right, yeah.
It creeped me out.
Right.
Like the fast zombies, like that, and 28 Days Later.
It's a good zombie movie. I don't know why it's called Dawn of the Dead. It should have been called Zack Snyder's zombie movie.
Yeah.
As a remake, it stinks. As its own zombie movie, it's great. Yeah,
that's
nothing like the original.
I kind of don't differentiate a lot of times. Like if it's a good movie, I tend to the fact that I enjoy it overrides the where it fits in like a mythology or something like that, right? Like, dude, Sisters of Mercy played here or played in Baltimore or Silver Spring, I can't remember, last night. And I saw some fucking terrible reviews.
I heard bad things. Yeah, I heard bad things. I saw him a few years ago here in Denver.
I'm bummed out. Please.
I'm bummed out. Why? It's like, are they known for being the most amazing live band? No, it's an old grumpy curmudgeon who kicked everyone talented out of the band like 8 million years ago.
And you would think with that kind of Vandy, like that he would place himself a little bit higher, but apparently part of the problem was that nobody could fucking hear him. He was so low in the mix. At least that's what the main complaint tweet that I've seen said. But like
when you say it like this, it's hard to get very loud. When you say it like this, turn the volume up for another motherfucker in a motel key.
That's good.
I'm working on my goth vocals.
Because you're cranking out fucking CRYPTICUS tunes, which
I just did some vocals.
If I'm not mistaken, there was a little bit of throat action going on today, according to the internets.
Should you be discussing this on camera? I don't know. Does Celeste know about what you and your throat action? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what he's talking about, folks.
The throat action?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
No, I'm talking about your throat action. Your throat action.
I don't do that, Schuler.
I was referring to death metal vocals. Did you do some of that throat action today?
I did do.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I'm having PG tips, bitch.
Was it CRYPTICUS or Cropsy or both?
Oh, I'm done with the Cropsy finally. I did all his stuff first, and then now I'm working on my stuff, which is interesting. Yeah, it was kind of so I could get warmed up so that my stuff doesn't suck compared to his. Again, I keep saying that, but it's true. It's hard. It's hard to compete with Cropsy. It'd be hilarious if our splits come out at the same time.
Yeah, I know, right?
or just coincidentally.
I feel like first of all, like the other band that we played with has done a little bit of playing with their sound since the stuff that they've done in the past. And again, like I don't know when this is going to be announced. I don't know anything, so I'm just going to not mention the name of the band or the name of the label or anything because we're not supposed to tell yet.
Sure.
But Future Patrick.
What do you want to tell Future Patrick?
Future Patrick,
yes.
Cut this off right here, okay? Because we're going to talk about the name.
Okay.
All right.
I'll tell him.
The band is...
We'll be right back.
Okay, so now we've mentioned the band's name, so I'm gonna flag Future Patrick again.
Yeah,
Future
I was gonna
Patrick.
say don't go too far into it if we're gonna have to cut it out. Yes.
Cut right here, Future Patrick. Cut. All right. Now we're back on. So now you can put it back on. Did you let him know?
Did he hear us?
Tell him. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. This is like an episode of Fringe. This is very difficult to parse out, but yes, now I'm communicating with my future alternate self.
This is like a Beckett
all right,
play.
I think it worked.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask you to tell me about Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, yeah. What do you want to know?
Tell me. I haven't seen it. I just want to know your thoughts. How you feeling?
I really liked it. It's still not my dream Evil Dead movie. It's a real perfect companion to the 2013 one. I'm still thinking maybe the 2013 one is a little more brutal in terms of the violence. I'd have to, but I always found the ending to the 2013 one to be very disappointing. It's like they hint that all this crazy shit's gonna happen with the abomination, and then it just turns out to be some naked girl climbs out of the ground and starts attacking her. Again, I assume a homeless person. Is this a homeless person attacking you?
It was her.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. It looked like a doppelganger.
It was her doppelganger.
Which I found very disappointing.
Yeah.
After all the crazy shit in the movie, I wanted some really, crazy monsters. So they kind of do something a little more like what I was hoping for at the end of this one. That's all I'll say. There's stuff that I was expecting to see in that one that they do in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of like I look at it almost like a James Bond movie. Like, this James Bond movie was directed by this person, so it's this way, and it has these things, and it's lacking these things that this other one had. So it's kind of like that. I guess I thought it would be more spooky and supernatural and would have more.
Interesting.
It's way more of almost like an action movie. Whereas I felt there was a lot more psychological torture in the 2013 one.
Yeah, it was a
lot more psychological subtext, and this one it's really fast paced too. So it's kind of like I kind of feel it could have used about half an hour of breathing, because it's pedal to the metal, this one, which a lot of people will like. There's very little room for breathing and atmosphere and spookiness. I think that they really pushed it to be really fast-paced. And I could have used a little more breathing room and atmosphere. That's kind of what I really like about... my favorite one is still the first Evil Dead movie, and I mean the Raimi one, because I watched that completely buying it. I don't watch it and go, wow, that looks fake. Oh, that's stupid. That's clearly a dummy. I don't at all. I completely, I buy in. I watch 1960 horror. It's literally like mannequins and ketchup. But I get terrified when I watch 1960s movies because I allow myself to be. You hear that? You have to allow yourself to be seduced by things. So when I watch Evil Dead 1 and 2, I actually find them to be very scary. That's kind of why I don't like Evil Dead 3, because it's very silly and meant to be silly.
It's so goofy.
Yeah.
Did you allow yourself to be scared by Army of Darkness? Could you?
Well, no, that's what disappoints me, is that it has some very scary parts that I think are ruined by them being so Three Stooges with it. Because some of the ideas with the evil Ash are actually really scary. Could be just tilted to be a very scary movie, and I wanted that version. But I think
I'm thinking I haven't read it anywhere, but I'm thinking that sort of the abomination manifesting as the doppelganger of whatever the character's name was, I think is sort of a nod to the evil Ash thing from Army of Darkness.
I heard it was actually just like a budget cut thing, that he actually wanted to do a cool monster.
Really?
He just didn't have. Yeah, they had designs for it.
I think that my interpretation of it is a little bit more generous. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and believe what I just made up there. Yeah, I was just curious about your general reaction. I didn't have any specific questions.
It's very good. It's very well made.
I wanted to see if you would... Yeah, that's what I wanted to see, if you would rave about it.
You know, and there's people now saying, like, there's a chance this might be the same universe that Ash is. Like, shut your fuckholes, okay? I don't need to see his old ass show up in this reality and crack jokes. Can we keep these separate, please? Okay, this is a completely different style of movie.
Yeah.
So this one is very much like the very first one that Raimi did. It's got that tone where it's like you're watching people you care for die horribly. You know, that's the movie.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, that was the tone of the 2013 one as well. That's the tone of Evil Dead I like. Other people have given me shit on Twitter because they're like, well, if they're not cracking jokes and Ash isn't there, it's not Evil Dead. You know, if it's not the Three Stooges, because Evil Dead's about stupid, silly shit. Like, is it? Because I thought Evil Dead was about tons of gore and really disturbing, horrible things happening to the people you love. That's what I thought Evil Dead was about. I actually wasn't a huge fan of that Ash versus Evil Dead show. I thought it was really great that they did it, and it was really well done. Like, it had such great gore, and they did amazing stunts in that show, like crazy stunts.
Yeah.
Like, man, they were banging his old ass all over the place. I really can't believe how much they beat that old dude up. So, you know, kudos to him, but I just felt it was so over the top, silly and goofy. And, you know, when you have the monsters show up and say, hey, Ashy Slashy, are you my boyfriend, lover boy? It's like, shut up, stupid. Just poke someone's eye out and do something violent, will you? And so that's why I like that. I like the movie. I like the new movie. They go in the right direction, I felt.
Okay.
They do ride the line, though. They do say some stupid shit that'll make people laugh, but then they'll also poke your eye out really horrifically violent. Yeah. The violence is very extreme and cringe-inducing. Yeah, I still haven't seen my dream Evil Dead movie, which, well, that would be written and directed by Patrick Bruss, and would have a ton of creature effects in it. See, that's the thing. They don't do creatures in Evil Dead anymore. Motherfuckers used to turn into monsters. Yeah, remember in Evil Dead 2, Evil Ed turned into a fucking giant mouthed monster, and his fingers got huge. You know, people were turning into kind of like almost like demons were emerging from their skin or something. And that they're not really doing that with the new movie.
Give Uncle Baby Boy some fucking some proper Evil Dead movie money. I'm sure that there's somebody out there who wants to throw some cash at you.
Oh, sure. Well, you know, all the big producers do watch our show. That is true.
We're pretty important. I feel like we've probably got a big audience in Hollywood. When did you see it? Yesterday?
Just, I don't know, was it two nights ago? I can't remember. Whenever I was tweeting you about it. Yeah, I paid $25 to watch it.
Yeah, man, I can't rent a movie for $20, man. Like,
well, you can't go to the theater and you can't rent it for $25. How are you going to support it? He asked. Well, he asked accusingly.
I'm going to buy the physical copy when it comes out.
Oh, well, that is supporting. It's true. That's true. All right, he got me there, folks. He got me there.
Yeah, I support. I throw my support out there.
What do you do? Like these days?
Blu-ray, but I'm thinking about doing like getting the 4K thing. I always like.
Those are supposedly crazy good looking.
Yeah.
This new one doesn't give me nightmares. It's just a really good Evil Dead movie. You'll see what I mean. But
when I don't have to pay $20.
Just pay for it, Schuler. Just pay for it.
I'm gonna pay for the physical thing. I'm gonna pay for my.
I thought you had. Yeah, but then you gotta. Well, then you're gonna wait another few months before you're gonna see it.
Well, then that's what I'll do. I don't think it takes that long these days, though.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Because I mean, it literally took 2 weeks before it was on. Amazon. What was I going to ask you? Oh, did you?
If I want any tea, no, I'm good.
Yeah, do you want some tea?
No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
No.
Okay,
well then hold on. I'll make yourself at home. I'll be right back.
Thanks.
Thank you for your patience. Gotta get that.
Welcome back, motherfucker.
I take my PG tips very seriously.
Yeah, did you find the honey?
And I need it piping hot, god damn you! Don't you know who I am?
I need it sizzling hot!
I take my...
That was old Loomis, I'm new Loomis.
I take my
I really did.
PG tips with oat milk. I don't know if you've tried tea with oat milk. It's delightful. Okay, so
I don't fuck with tea.
Oh, at all? That's interesting because
No.
you do coffee only?
I used to drink tea, but then I realized that like it was time to grow up.
Straight black? How do you take it?
Straight black coffee, yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, yes, you have successfully shamed me and made me look like a little boy. So, congratulations, Schuler. Do you feel like a big man?
Like, black tea is gross, but like it's not worth the kick.
You clearly haven't had PG tips, bitch.
I want real caffeine. I want like an adult dose of caffeine. And so
I am hopped up. I'm hopped up on this PG tips, I'm telling you.
Well, but you're used to PG tips. Well, you're not used to the fucking burnt black rawness that I fucking chug down. I make that mud, brother.
Hey, remember, I'm Brazilian, okay?
What you listening to?
What have I been listening to? Well, let's see.
Dehumanization protocol activated.
Dude. It's good. I like it. I've been listening to it a lot. I've been enjoying it. Are you just like straight up mainlining Extermination Dismemberment right now?
For the last couple of days, yeah. It's, there were two bands that got me into slam, period. It was Analepsy and it was Extermination Dismemberment.
Yeah.
It was their first two big albums, which that first one came out was almost kind of legendary, for how over the top it was and shit. And so I think they laid back for so long, people kind of thought, well, there's no way they can top that. Well, there's no way they're going to come back with anything. And let me tell you, they fucking topped it. Ooh,
it's
buddy,
good,
is it good? It's
really good.
I really, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think it might be my favorite slam album of all time. It's really something.
It's one of my two favorite records of the year so far. I do love it as a slam album, and I think that they're doing just the right mix of what I think Abominable Putridity was going for with their most recent one, or I guess his most recent one, because it's a little bit more complex, it's a little bit like there's slams, but it's a little bit technical. It's a little bit more technical in places. And
yes, and
I feel like they
such a great way.
Well, I feel like Abominable Putridity sort of lost the thing that I love most about them, at least a little bit, on that last record, even though it was a good record and I enjoyed it. But I feel like Extermination Dismemberment have, brought that sound together, brought those elements together. A little bit of complexity with just, straight-ahead fucking bonehead dumbass slams. That combination, these two levels together is perfect for me. And I love the storyline. I love when the fucking robot voice comes in. It's such an interesting listening experience.
It's actually scary.
It is. It's creepy. And the people are screaming and you wonder what's happening, because there's one part where there's the sound of a baby crying and then the sloshing behind it. And you're like, what?
You know what?
Baby swimming?
No, I have a visual of what that is. I think that's
a robot drowning a baby?
No, I think it's a Matrix scenario. That's some kind of a baby in a cocoon, in some kind of a field with robots tending or feeding on. That's what I got.
Extermination.
It might be some of the best use of samples on a death metal album ever,
dude,
in my opinion.
Required intro. You have to listen to it. And then, the other sample elements that are present, I think, add shit to the songs. That horn, that air raid siren horn thing behind the riff in the second track. God damn, dude. That shit amps me up.
Are you familiar with Encephalic?
No.
Which is apparently from Spain. Encephalic is a two-piece.
Two-piece
Well,
and a
this
biscuit?
is what was got me going here. Sure. And their cover art, Encephalic wrapped in suffering. Yeah, look up that cover art, and that I think you just described that. That would be the two-piece in a biscuit right there. Yeah, their cover art is highly disturbing. But I was checking out this Encephalic, which is kind of weird and underground.
Oh man, this is
it's very. So have you ever heard them before? Because got shitloads of albums, 4 or 5 albums, and so I started checking it out, and it's a project of this dude Oscar. He just goes by the name Oscar, and he's Spanish, and so I go to his Metallum. It's one of these things where he's like a total like brutal death metal Raja.
Like Bob McCall.
I checked out this Encephalic, and I really liked it. I really liked the weird style of it. It has a very oddly loose but kind of melodic. Like, it will evolve into these very melodic passages and stuff while still being very ugly and very odd time signatures and stuff. Just very, very interesting style. So I went to check out this guy's Oscar's projects, like including Inhuman Deprivation.
Nice.
Who have an album called Servants of Supremacy.
I have some Inhuman Deprivation.
It's one of those where you probably have like 10 of his CDs and you didn't even know it. Abandonment is one of his projects. With All My Hate is another one of his projects. And so I just went through and found as many of these as I could find. And this is still probably only half the projects this dude is in. But everything he's doing, and he just goes by Oscar. I couldn't find a last name or anything. But everything this dude does is super brutal. So Oscar, a shout out to you, sir. I like your work, and I really like that new Encephalic. So I also went back and checked out. And I think every one of these projects I mentioned have, several albums. Abandonment, Focused to Imminent Desolation is a pretty decent one. Any of these sound familiar to you besides the Inhuman Deprivation? Well, there is a lot there. I just chased down just that guy's Metallum was enough to get me going for a long time and see it and find a bunch of shit. So I've been listening to his shit. And again, a thing that I really like is I like ugly music. I like music that's like, that's like a really angular, unpleasant riff. Like a lot of his stuff's kind of going in that direction. It's like, that's very unpleasant.
Nice.
Very well. And then the other thing is, this is a band that I feel we should be hearing a lot more about because they just put out something new, which caused me to dive back through all their stuff. Horde Casket, which are from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and they are a very, very good brutal death metal band who have a ton of releases. They have like at least 4 or 5 albums, and dating back to 2010.
Looks like you can buy their entire fucking discography on CD in their Bandcamp store. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I love.
Lots of CD releases, these guys, and lots of them on Digipack too. The new one is really good, but the green cover one, the Slab of Infinite Butchery, I bought that one a while back. That one's really good. Everything from Slab of Infinite Butchery is good. Melted Together is solid. Plague Supremacy is really good, and the new one,
Melted Together, is solid.
Vatic Doom is very good. Very good. So
I got it open.
Yes, kind of slept on, I guess, because I don't know. For some reason, I was under the impression that you had been a fan of these guys. Solid stuff, nothing super surprising. It's just, I guess I was just super surprised that more people hadn't been talking about the Horde Casket.
I feel like if you fall, he might fall through the cracks because this appears to be like a sort of one-man operation at this point. I don't know if were these even on labels? Like, is Vatic Doom on a label? I'm
pretty sure I ordered Slab of Infinite Butchery from like Severed or something. Yeah, released by Severed Records.
I got a Severed package the other day.
You would.
I put all that shit away. Yeah, I got a Severed package the other day, and I got a package. Fuck, dude, I can't remember what I got in my Severed package. Has it been
that means you're ordering too much if you can't remember.
No. It was just because I couldn't remember which place the shit came from. It was the 3 Dead Congregation releases that he has. It was... Yeah.
The 2 albums and the
2 albums and that recent EP, yeah.
The Doomy EP?
Yeah, the recent
Sweet.
EP that... There's one of the songs is doomy, the other one's not as doomy, but it was...
it's good shit.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's really fucking good.
One of the best death metal bands in my opinion, period.
Oh yeah, they're incredibly popular for a reason. Like they're cult, you know what I mean? Like they're very, very good, man.
So you hadn't had those before?
No, I didn't have them. I was looking through his I'll go through his fucking, how many times am I going to say this? I'll go through his distro. I'll go through his distro from time to time and just see what the new stuff is. That's been brought. But
those are probably like newer releases.
Yeah, they're all re-releases. They're just ones that I didn't happen to have physical copies of.
I did just get this. Our buddy Nev mentioned this on Twitter, the Protrusion demo, and this is some very filthy death metal. Nev did the cover art for this.
Nice.
He posted it on Twitter, and I'm talking. This is a real deal demo here. Okay, we're talking old school. See, like
classic.
Yeah. So I had to order this just for that experience. And
classic.
Nev, he's a filthy man. He all he cares about is kaiju and Ham's beer, and his wife's giant, and that's it. And then drawing.
That's
gore.
my monarch right there. Is Nev.
Here's one that just popped up. I bet you haven't heard this, you bastard, because it just popped up. It's just the one song. It's on Comatose Music. Tortured.
Oh, yeah.
This is a band which has folks from Spain, Russia, and France in it. It's one of those. And boy, this one song got me pretty excited because, we're talking just pure brutality. This is brutality on the level of like Molested Divinity.
Nice.
For one of those kind of bands, so where it's just
dense technical brutality.
There you go. Yeah. And just take a taste of it. Just rub it on your gums. Just a little bit. See? I told you.
Face, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, I'm pretty excited for that.
Some angular, brutal death metal. That's what Daddy likes. God damn it, do I love it.
Let's see what they got to say here. Oh, baby, I think I've had... Oh, Daddy's had too much tea.
You got a wee-wee?
Stomach. No, I got the poo-poo stomach.
You got the poo-poo stomach? You need to go, buddy. You need to go take care of your business.
Not yet.
Not yet. Hold that thing in until you absolutely can't anymore. If you care about this show, you will shit your kilt without fucking leaving. You will sit there and you will shit in that chair for death metal. That's right. Make that face.
Oh, I think I pooped my skirt. Do you remember? It's a Kristen Wiig character on SNL.
No, I don't. I don't remember that character.
The super hot girl that wanders into a party and all the guys are like, ooh, she's hot. And she goes, ooh.
Oops, I shouldn't have snuck that piece of cake. I better run. Too late. I pooped my skirt. Oh, I pooped all inside my skirt.
I think I pooped my skirt.
She does rule, man.
Since we got this open here, I cannot pass up talking about Creme Flesh Casablumpkin.
Casablumpkin? Yeah.
Because that is truly a brilliant title. Casablumpkin.
You looked at the titles for the songs?
Oh,
From Russia with AIDS.
Good lord.
Femme Fatale.
Femme Fatale.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, come on. These are great. These are great.
On Her Majesty's Secret Cervix. It's absurd.
The Pit and the Speculum.
I can't take it seriously, though, man. Like, I'll listen to it. I don't know if I can buy this or not,
this is PTSTD. These are great song titles. I don't think I could sit. I probably couldn't.
Of creme flesh.
Oh, this is more crap from Canada. You hear that, Justin? It's more of your countrymen up there.
Canadians. We love the Canadians, though. They've got some good stuff going on.
Well, Casablumpkin, we all know Casablumpkin, the city, is in Canada.
Casablumpkin, Canada.
Now you're going to order that on vinyl.
No, I'm not going to order that on vinyl. Number one, because I would not. Listen, I own like one brutal death metal album on vinyl. The CD is the native format of brutal death metal, my friend.
Can I guess which one you have on vinyl?
I think you know, but I don't think you're going to guess it either. But go ahead, try.
Well, my guess would be it's Defeated Sanity.
No, false. It is Extermination Dismemberment's Butcher Basement. Specifically because I could find it on vinyl when I couldn't find it on CD, and I simply had to have a physical copy of it.
Now, see, I have Can you do Extermination Dismemberment on vinyl? Because don't the fucking bass drops make the needle jump?
Fuck the make the needle jump? I don't know.
Doesn't the vinyl just go flat like during the bass drops? It's just a flat spot.
So, do you listen to Sufism?
Have to see that logo, or else it's just Greek to me.
They're from Indonesia. They're on Brutal Mind. It's described as agricultural brutal death metal. And I have had a copy of their first EP, Reptilia Buas, for a while now. But I finally got a copy of their full length from 2020, and it's fucking really good, dude. It's really catchy brutal death metal. It's super fucking like raw. There's almost elements, and don't let this scare you off, man. Please listen to it. It almost sounds metalcore in places. But that's one of the things that I've noticed across a number of Indonesian brutal death metal bands. Kaluman is another one that has like metalcore sounding influences in their brutal death metal, and they're pulling it off, like they're making it work. But like the intro is like, it's like this flute, and like the builds, and then eventually it's just a cow, and the cow goes and it launches into this brutal death metal song. And so like I'm really interested in what agricultural brutal death metal's lyrical grist mill is. Unfortunately, none of this is in English except for one song that's actually the most profound shit that I think I've ever read in an Indonesian brutal, and not just Indonesian, but in brutal death metal record by a band whose primary language is not English. It's some pretty profound shit, man. I was really, really impressed. But just the music is really catchy. This band is intensely popular in Indonesia, and I've been meaning to check them out for a while. Yeah, man, they got like 30,000 followers on Instagram. Those guys are rock stars over there, man. It's a different culture, and I don't necessarily know how the mainstream works either. But you know what? I will. I'm learning. It is definitely a lot more. It occupies a place with a little bit more cultural value that I think that you see here.
You got these guys doing agricultural brutal death metal, and then you have WAFAT, who are doing the feminist super brutal death metal, which that shit is crushing.
Yeah, dude.
That is
WAFAT's
a fucking shit. Yeah, man, that is really good
Feminism
shit.
is a sick record, man. Like it, dude, it's good.
You were talking about fucking bands that have a djenty element.
Yeah.
Which I think, by the way, this is the problem. Any band that uses an extended range guitar is going to be accused of djentism.
Yeah.
Because if you're using fucking bass strings on your guitar and you're tuning down to -A, it's going to sound djenty. So I feel a lot of bands are unfairly lumped in just because they're using baritone guitars and shit. But there's this band called A Pretext to Human Suffering. They have an album called Endless Cycle of Suffering. So that should be easy to remember.
They're really into suffering.
Apparently they need a pretext to human suffering in order to start the endless cycle of suffering. But they are incredibly, I suppose, djenty while being very death metal. So I wonder what you would think of this, because it's not necessarily, they don't have any purple going on, so it's not necessarily metalcore-y in any way. It's just djenty death metal. But I think it's only djenty because of the extended range guitars. So I don't know. You tell me what you think about it. I think it's a little more interesting, and maybe you would find something there that might scratch your itch.
I wrote it down and I'll check it out. I do think that with the bands who do go into like really crazy tunings and have fucking necks that are that fucking thick, guitar necks that are like 6 inches thick.
Yes.
When you do have a band who isn't just doing that, that's when you know that you've got some really fucking virtuosic players. The top example for me is Legion. I think they've both been playing 8-string guitars in that band since the jump, if I'm not mistaken, and like they are not relying on the fucking. It is definitely not from the fucking 2 frets, 1 string, no problems school of down tuning. You know what I mean? Like it's really complex, really crazy melodic music.
Abysmal Torment, The Misanthrope, which is just.
No, I have an Abysmal Torment.
The most horrifying album cover I've ever seen, the most horrible violence I've ever witnessed on an album cover, like truly difficult to look at, this album cover. That album is basically like if you took the instruments from a djent band and said, we're making brutal death metal with it. It's incredibly fucking brutal and incredibly djenty. Highly recommend. That was a good one. Ooh, I forgot about the SCAPHISM Split. Do you remember the SCAPHISM Split from a couple years ago on New Standard Elite? It was a 4-way ping split. Just nothing but fucking hog vomits and pings.
That I just don't recall. I don't know.
Bro, that's a classic split at this point. delusional
copy of that.
parasitosis, ecchymosis, dissevered, and bleeding. It's the SCAPHISM Split. Highly recommended if you need something like, if you don't have Ipecac and you need something to make you vomit. That shit's disgusting. I would like to show our audience something that the audience of our friends on Twitter have probably never seen. Do you know what these are?
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
that. These right here. These are called bolt thrower CDs. Most of you have only seen the hashtag that you like to post all the time. This is the actual thing. There's actually a real band that actually has real physical CDs. And I wanted to show that because I bet none of you have ever actually seen bolt thrower CDs. You've only seen the hashtag. So there you go. Read them and weep. Original Games Workshop Warhammer 40K artwork that is not available anymore because he doesn't want to license it for the re-releases, so he got a real cheap painting for the new ones. The old one full of RPG goodness and Warhammer goodness and shit. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to wave actual physical bolt thrower CDs in people's faces and say, listen to bolt thrower, just listen to them. Don't just sit there posting the fucking hashtag, okay?
Bolt Thrower 2023, bitch. You see how we do. You see how we livin' in 2023
BT
with Bolt
making
Thrower
BT
CDs.
rain, bitch. BT is raining over here. You understand me?
CDs. That's right. I would never do what he just did. Don't do that. If
That's
you're unfamiliar
how much
with CDs,
bolt thrower
kids,
I got.
don't fucking
That's
drop
how much
them.
bolt
Don't make
thrower's
them rain.
happening.
That's how heavy
Okay,
bolt
you
thrower
understand
is.
me?
It's hard to hold it up because it is so heavy.
Oh boy, I'm not kidding about the poo-poo stomach.
Things that I think is so fucking that I get stoked about with Bolt Thrower anyway, other than just like the extra tracks that some of the bonus the import versions
still talking about Bolt
like
Thrower.
There's other interesting stuff about it too, like first of all, there was like a version of the song that was on Mercenary that was extended.
See, he's not.
Infiltrator,
I'm not kidding about the poo-poo stomach.
Actually the same version. It wasn't actually the same version as the one that was on this like little weird Christmas thing special. Oh, he's gonna shit his kilt.
He's still talking. All right,
you don't want to talk more about you don't want to talk more about Bolt Thrower. You just want to go and shit your own pants.